meteorologist Mark Molnar as your host for the weather show, Weather Northeastern. Let's get right into a viewer sent in photo here. Derek Grunschiller from Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. Back on May 27th, 2015 here, back on Wednesday. You can see a thunderstorm moved across the area, a line of thunderstorms producing heavy rain, frequent lightning, and pretty much all kinds of conditions across the area. He even says there was some weak rotation, but there was no reports of tornadoes. So conditions were quite unsettled. That unsettled weather has moved to the east, but we got more on the way for the middle portion of the weekend into the latter portion. So let's take a look at those rainfall totals across the nation here. Back east, unfortunately, northeast Texas, eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, another 2 to at least 4 inches of rain is expected on top of all of this rain that you've already seen. This is not good news across the southern plains and across Texas, who has seen so much flooding over the last several days. And then heading up to the Ohio Valley into the northeast, we're actually suffering a rainfall deficit up here in parts of New England and into the mid-Atlantic and lower Great Lakes. So this will be some welcome rain, potentially 1 to 2 inches. Back west here, we're starting to get some El Nino effects, and I will have some complete details of what this El Nino means for the upcoming hurricane season sometime next week. So stay tuned for that, because El Nino could have a big impact coming up on our weather this summer. Let's take a look at the pattern here for much of North America heading on into your next 5 to 10 days. As I said, the trough will be strengthening out west here with a little bit of ridging out here in the central states. Unfortunately, we're going to be watching some sort of subtropical development in here in the Gulf of Mexico next week. So I want to make note of that, because that could either go north, west, or even slightly to the east or northeast here. So we're going to keep an eye on that depending on the flow, because there's going to be a subtropical high over this. And of course, another trough up here in the northeast, which will promote some beneficial rains for the locations affecting by the slight to moderate drought. Let's take a look at surface maps for your Saturday. Take a look at this. Saturday looking very interesting here. To note, severe weather is possible across the southern provinces of Ontario and Quebec into northern New York State here, northeast Ohio, and extreme northwest Pennsylvania. The potential exists for strong wind and large hail potential as that cold front starts to move in. It's a very sharp cold front. Warmer temperatures out ahead of it. Susquehanna River Valley, some locations upwards of 85, as much as 88 degrees here. But as you can see, warm weather encompassing much of the northeast. The chances of rain lessens towards the coast, but look at further inland here by 3 p.m. I-81 on eastward here, getting in on the act of showers and thunderstorms on westward most of the day here into Sunday. That front starts to stall to the south here. Look at this cold air moving in. Cold dome of 50s, 55, 60 degree highs here across the northeast. All that moisture plume sets up south here, south of the New York-Pennsylvania border. Southern Poconos heading into New Jersey, across much of Pennsylvania, and southern New England here. Heading on into your Monday, that sinks a little bit further to the south, but we see something interesting happen here. Temperatures will actually be cooler here across southern Pennsylvania and New Jersey than they will up across parts of northern New York and southern Ontario and Quebec here. Take a look at this. A pocket of 70s up here, where you only be in the low 60s down by Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. And heading on into your Tuesday, chances of rain lessen. We start to warm it up. Most areas near 70 degrees. The exception up here in Burlington, Ottawa, and heading on over towards Sudbury, London, and Toronto, where you'll get way into the mid to high 70s. Very nice. And most areas across New England here getting into the low to mid 70s. So I'm going to have a 5-day outlook for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark Comments, Twitter at WX Northeastern, and Google Plus at MeteoMark. Here's your 5-day, stretching from Saturday all the way to the midpoint of next week. Look at this. We've got showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly after 2 p.m. Some of those storms could contain damaging wind gusts and large hailstones, so watch out for that. Frequent lightning also possible. They say flash flooding on some of the guidance, but the problem with that is it's been so dry. So I think the ground will soak this up quite nicely, and it won't be beneficial unless we get some really heavy rainers, in which case we could have some potential urban and small stream flooding in those urban areas. Heading on into Sunday, look at this. Most of the rain in the morning, get up to another 3/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain here, maybe up to an inch. But temperatures only making it up into the upper 50s. Heading on into Monday, we warm it up near 65 to 68. And mostly cloudy heading on. The sun breaks out for Tuesday and Wednesday, warming up near the 70 to 75 degree mark. That's going to do it for this edition of Weather Northeastern.